Okay, imagine this for a second. What if Warren Buffett, yeah, the Warren Buffett, wanted to buy a piece of your future? I'm not talking about your company or your stocks, I'm talking about you. It's a real thought experiment he actually proposed, and trust me, the price you come up with, it reveals a whole lot more about you than you'd think. So let's break it down.
So, picture this. You're in a room full of recent grads. The cap and gown are still fresh. And up on stage is Warren Buffett himself. But he's not there to give the same old speech about saving your money or diversifying your portfolio. Nope. He looks right out at everyone and says he wants to make a personal business proposition.
And here it is, the big offer. And look, this isn't just some story about students in a room. He's basically extending this offer to you right now. He wants to buy 10% of everything you'll ever earn for the rest of your life. In return, you get a check today. The only question, what's your price?
Now, Buffett tells everyone to think really carefully about this. And, what's so fascinating is the psychology of it all. It's so easy to get dazzled by the idea of a huge check right now, right? It's super tempting to just throw out a number that sounds big today, but could end up being a massive undervaluation of your entire life's potential. So that number that just popped into your head, it's way more than just a price tag. It's a statement. It's really a reflection of how you see your own potential. And honestly, this is where the real lesson from Buffett begins. No, seriously, take a second. What's your number? How much would you charge for 10% of you? What would you write down on that dotted line? Got it? Okay, let's see what Warren Buffett has to say about it.
All right, so Buffett actually sets a baseline. He says that if anyone, and I mean anyone, offers to sell their 10% for less than 1 million baht, they're being, and this is his word, unwise. That's the absolute floor, the minimum.
Okay, so let that sink in for a minute. If 1 million is the lowest price for just a tiny slice of you, just 10%, well, what does that say about the whole pie?
And boom, there it is, the first big aha moment. If 10% of you is worth at least 1 million, then your total value, your minimum potential as an asset, is a whopping 10 million baht. That's your starting price right now, today.
But here's where Buffett pulls a classic move and completely flips the script. See, this whole thing, it was never really about getting a check from him. The real point is to make you realize that you are the single most important asset you will ever own.
So now the question changes completely. It's not what's my price anymore, it's, okay, I'm a 10 million baht asset, so how am I going to invest in myself? If you just bought a company this valuable, what would you do to protect it and make it grow?
So what does that investment strategy look like? Well, according to Buffett, it has nothing to do with stocks or real estate. It's about the fundamentals. First, maintaining the hardware. That's your body and your mind. Second, upgrading the software, your knowledge and your skills. And third, improving the network, the quality of the people you choose to have around you.
Okay, so it's one thing to know you're this super valuable asset, but it's a whole other challenge to actually get the most out of it, right? And to explain this gap, Buffett uses this absolutely brilliant analogy about a car engine. He says that every single one of us is born with a 200 horsepower engine inside. Think about that. You come off the assembly line, factory equipped with incredible potential. It's already there. But, and this is a big but, here's the reality check. Even though we all have that 200 horsepower potential, most people are only using a tiny fraction of it. Maybe we're cruising along at 50 horsepower, or sometimes even just 10. There's this huge gap between what we're capable of and what we're actually doing. So what's going on here? What's holding us back from really opening up the throttle on that engine? Well, Buffett says it really boils down to just two things. Okay, so back in the day, the biggest roadblock was pretty simple: a lack of education or access to information. But now, come on, with the internet, that excuse is completely out the window. Knowledge is everywhere, and a lot of it's free. So today, the real bottleneck, the thing that truly decides if you succeed or fail, it's your personal habits.
All right, so if everything hinges on our habits, then that leads to the million-dollar question, or I guess the 10 million baht question. What is the single most important trait we should be working on? And on this point, Buffett is crystal clear. He actually says that whenever he's looking to hire someone, or even just partner with them, he looks for 3 very specific things.
And here they are. Now you have to pay really close attention to the order here because the order is everything. Number 1, above all else, is integrity. After that comes intelligence. And third is energy. And here's the kicker. The reason that order is so important.
Buffett says that without the first one, integrity, the other two will absolutely kill you. Think about it. A person who is smart and full of energy but has no integrity, they're not an asset, they're a huge liability. And that brings us right back to the beginning. You are a high-value, 10 million baht asset. You've got a 200 horsepower engine just sitting there waiting for you to use it. So the only question left, and it's one only you can answer, is how much of that engine are you using right now? And what's the very next thing you're going to do to start unlocking the rest of your potential?